Hello and welcome back to Diesel Railcar Simulator. Thank you very much for joining me in today's video, and it has been 2 years, I think, since I have last played this title. So what brings me back to Diesel Railcar Simulator? Well, I was thinking about this a few weeks ago and I thought, I wonder what the updates have brought to this particular title, because I know there have been a few updates, particularly graphical, but I know that there have been a few updates, as I said. And just incidentally, or coincidentally I suppose, the developer emailed me with a key for a different title, and I thought to myself, I could show that title off, or I could play more of this and show you why I think Diesel Railcar Simulator has the potential to be possibly the best train simulator of a specific type, i.e. diesel trains. So make sure you stay tuned, let's get started, and really this is me trying to get used to this again. As I said, it has been 2 years. Am I still going to be able to drive a train? No idea. I suppose there's only one way to find out. Let's go and let's see how many improvements Diesel Railcar Simulator has had, and why, for you, if you have not seen this title before, why I think that this is so good. Okay, so we do start off with sim paused, which is different. A few things that I'm going to point out straight away is that do not mind the interiors, and as the game is still loading everything up, do not mind the interiors. The interiors are still not quite there, although they're not terrible. They certainly are not terrible, but there are no passengers on the train yet. Things are on the inside, as you can see, they're not the absolute greatest, but they're serviceable. Here we go. We are actually inside in a platform now. I think I need to get to the right side of the train. So I'm just going to leave the sim pause whilst I have a look around. I remember the 8 key is to look around. And you can see that the idea behind this is, well, it looks a little bit like my Transport Fever 2 video at the moment, videos at the moment, because it has those kind of those sorts of signs, speed signs. The signals are like that. We have the semaphores, and just everything in general looks, signal boxes, everything just looks very, very much like my Transport Fever 2 series. And there is a particular reason for that, because this looks very, very British, and for that I do like it. I think it's based around the 1980s, somewhere around the 1970s, 1980s, I think is when it's based. In fact, no, it could be 1960s. I remember seeing something 1967 or 1976 timetable. Anyway, let's get inside. And another good thing before I unpause this, another good thing is that natively it just works with my controls. So I'm actually using my Honeycomb Bravo flight sim controls, the levers to control the throttle, the gears. Yes, you have to change gears in this particular locomotive or this particular train. The reverser, the loco brake, the train brake, and the throttle and the handbrake. All of those are controlled by my Honeycomb Bravo, which is really, really cool. Yes, sure, it does not look exactly like this, but it's good enough. So there you go. That's me releasing the handbrake, me putting the handbrake on. For some reason, when you do it really quickly, there's this weird graphical glitch. But there we go. That's released. Now, the only thing I am going to mention is that for some reason it doesn't quite, it only reads half of my controls at the moment. That's something I think I've messed up. But let's go ahead and, well, let's put the handbrake back on. Let's start this. So we're departing in a minute. I remember I have to put a key in. I'll start up the engines. And we have how many cars today? 4 cars, is it? Nope. We have many cars. 6 cars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So I'm not sure why car 5 and car 6 are not yet mentioned or shown. Let's put the reverser into forward. Apparently we're 2 minutes late. I'm not entirely certain why, but there we go. I'll do that. I'll pop it into an actual gear, and off we go. Also have control over the horn. Not sure why we were late. That's a bit awkward. That's very, very awkward. Just going to move into a position that gives me potential for a screenshot. There are no lights at the moment, unfortunately, as well. That's something that needs to be brought up. I remember the F keys get rid of things and show other things. I cannot remember. One of them will show you, for example, where you need to stop your train. I do not believe I have that on, but there we go. So today's journey is going to take about half an hour. And the idea is we are going to be passing through a few stations and stopping at one along the way, and then our destination. So it's a semi-fast service, as you can see. But graphically, I think that this looks really, really nice. It isn't perfect, but you can see the sort of the tessellation and things that are being worked on. But it does look really, really quite good. If only that tessellation didn't make the stones look like they were what do you call it, moving around. Right, let's go ahead and change gear, put it into second. There we go. I can hear passengers, so that is a new thing. I don't think there are any passengers. There's no passengers on the train, there's just the audio from it. But that is definitely a new thing. And in this particular sim, you actually are scored on how you drive the train. So whether you are speeding, or if you're speeding, or you brake too harshly, or anything like that, you are scored upon, which is really cool. But the thing I like the most about this game is how the trains feel. So they feel very, very realistic. You'll notice, you'll be able to hear it, the way the running gear sounds, the way the train sounds as it goes through different areas. Why am I braking for this? I shouldn't be braking. There we go. Yes, the way the train sounds at different points as it goes over different types of track, you will be able to hear that, and it will give you well, you just heard it there, and it just gives you a different feeling. I'm going to put this in fourth, although I'm not going to accelerate past 40 just yet. It's a long train, so I'm just going to wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll accelerate now. But yes, as I said, you are about to hear all this. There you go, as it clatters over the switches. It has something. This has some sort of charm, some sort of style that I think Train Sim World definitely does not have, and I've not really seen in any other train simulator. Plus, all this cabin wobble and shake, and it just feels, or it looks realistic. Is that a red, or is that going to go green? Slight concern. just going to stay at 45 miles per hour for a moment. Probably will go green for me, but I'm not sure. Was it left click to zoom in to have a look? That's definitely not green. Let's get the train slowing down. Okay, so it looks like this is going to be a bit of a start-stop service, it seems. Oh, that one's gone green, so I'm not entirely certain about the next one. Put it down a gear. Back up we go. Probably a wrong gear actually. Put it into second. 90? Don't think I can do 90 in this train. Interesting how that made me slow down like that. You would have thought that it would have gone green a little bit earlier, but it seems like it didn't. Up to 70 we go. Now, it does appear that I'm going to be 2 minutes late. I'm not sure why I'm 2 minutes late. So the sim was paused, so I'm not entirely sure what's happened. That caused me to be 2 minutes late, but there we go. This is a title that is still sort of early access. Get rid of that, there we go. Does sound pretty good. Even heard it as it changed gear. Oh, and it does have a really good Doppler. If I just do this. Always appreciate a sim that does a very good Doppler effect. Sounds in this are really nice. Physics feel good. The sim does not have things like derailing or anything like that yet, but that is part of a plan. So, yes, a lot of things are just awaiting implementation, design and build. Start pushing this train. I mean, it is a big train. So it's taking a bit of time to get moving. I'm trying to figure out how to start car 5 and car 6. Maybe you're not supposed to. Engine stop is not yet a thing in this either. So there is that. But it looks like I'm just pushing. It's just going to be full throttle as we try to get up to speed. But again, I really like the fact that I am able to just do this with my Honeycomb Bravo throttles, and you could do this with any other controller. I've plugged in every controller I can think of that I own, and it just works. So it's very good. All of those sounds, very realistic. Even the slight echo as you go over things, or under things, should I say. And in terms of realism, it does look fairly realistic. I say that my Transport Fever 2 series looks a bit like this, so I'm assuming that this is fairly good because that is based off everything I find in real life. You can hear the frame of the train. That's something you would hear on an actual train. Looks like there is a 40 coming up. to actually just come off the throttle right now. Let's get on the brakes. Might need a little bit more brake than that. There we go. As we head into the 40, which is for this curve up ahead. 47, 46, 45, a little bit fast into the 40. That's fine. There we go. Absolutely fine round the corner. And then just accelerate right the way through. Visually, outside it looks great. Inside, as I said, there could be... it does need work. This does look better than it used to. That much is for certain. This definitely looks better than it used to. But it could do with more work. The displays are useful. I don't think there's any... I do not think there are any lights at the moment to speak of, full stop. So that's probably the most important thing that needs to come up, is lighting. Not just the sunlight, but actual lighting from the trains. I think that would make a big difference. If I could light up these displays, that would be great. So you could, if you wanted to, you could just use these displays right here. So you have your brake reservoir there, you've got your vacuum meters there, I think that's for your brakes as well. You've got your engine RPM there, your speedometer there, power, that's your AWS cancel, that's the sunflower for the AWS, handbrake, train brake and gears. Oh, and reverser and horn. Not sure what that one is. Oh, cannot press it. Now these are not real lines, so if you're trying to find real places here, these are not real lines, although I think someone has released a mod or something that has Dublin, in and around Dublin, the commuter services, so I might try that out actually. That is pretty cool to see that, but this is not a real line. This is fictional, hence the mountains in the background. You wouldn't get mountains in Britain like that unless you're in Scotland. Maybe places in Wales. We are, of course, late through here too. Everything just started 2 minutes late, so as long as I'm 2 minutes through all of this, I should be okay. We do have a 50 coming up. And then 50 down to 70, we've got some red aspects, or danger aspects. That's have turned green already. So it's just a matter of the 50 now. I think it's probably best for me to just come off the throttle now, start braking. Gently put the power in to slow it down. Coming down to 50 miles per hour, off the brakes. There we go. And into the 50, much better than I did the 40. Nice and early into the 50. So it's just about getting used to this as well. And then back to 70. And this is another thing that is really nice. The way this particular map is designed, it does keep you on your toes. It's not just right, do 125 and just sit there the whole time, which unfortunately in, for example, Train Sim World, you end up doing, because the HST is really badly modelled. There isn't anything else to really do. What would be nice, thinking about the HST, was if someone could create the entire Great Western Railway, circa late 1970s, early 1980s, or even mid 1980s, that sort of era, with all the diesel engines. That would be brilliant. That really would be brilliant. We should be reaching, how would you pronounce that? Nastbury? Yeah, Nastbury. Very, very soon. Saying hello to the Class 37 going past. I think that's a mail train. Which is really nice to see. So there are other services on the route. Be wary of what that is. Just coasting. Trying to see what the signal. I see the aspects. So I feel like perhaps I would not be able to actually make it in time to these places because of all the signals. Also, you've got the brake handle. It does actually have. You do actually have service, lap and running, so it does release at different rates, which is really, really cool. And I think the air brake simulation is properly done. Let's bring it down a gear. There's no point me going in at high speed again. Just going to make my way into the siding into the platform. I suppose it is the siding for the platform, right? And this is the first of 2 stops, of which I am late. Just put it in 4 for now. I'm supposed to stop at the S-car stop, so wherever that is. So I need to find that, or the 6-car stop. I see the 6-car stop. Oh, I've missed. Oh no, there's an S at the end. Well, I'll stop here. I missed the 6-car stop. That's a pain. That was. Well, I've stopped 1 car forward. I should have stopped there. 2 minutes late. That's okay. I can put this back in first. And I can give the buzzer to the guard. Come on. This train does take a while to get going. It is a large train. I departed 1 minute late, which is not too bad. Slowly bring the acceleration in. This looks a bit like my approach into West Mersey. At least I know I'm doing something right. But yes, overall, this is a very... I think this is a much more in-depth, or has the ability to be a much more in-depth train sim. It's just a bit bare bones at the moment, and in a way that's a good thing. I do find that as a good thing. It doesn't have anything fancy going on. It just has a train, the track, you drive, and I think that is pretty good. Oh, and some water. Very murky water. So that noise appears to be as the engine RPM increases. That's what that appears to be. Yes, that is what that is actually appearing to be, which is cool. So I think when it gets to around 80-85%, you start getting that engine RPM, the RPM shaking the carriages a bit. Now we do have 40 coming up, so I suppose there's no point me accelerating too hard. So I might get up to about 50 miles per hour and then just ease off. I might as well just ease off here. There's absolutely no point. Let's start getting ready to change up from running, from lap, ready to put into service. Let's put into service. Just gently slow the train down. Into the 40 we go. It looks like we've got a 40, 60, 40. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stay at 40 for this. I don't particularly see any point in me speeding up and then slowing down again. This uphill is... that's the other thing we have. We have to worry about the uphills. So I'll pop it down a gear. Which is always interesting. I actually have to worry about gradients. So again, just going to accelerate up to 40. No point trying to accelerate any further. In fact, I doubt I'm going to be able to on this gradient. And I do think that the map, despite being fictional, the map is very well put together. Very, very well put together. Now the question is that downhill or is that just a cutting? I think the answer is this is a cutting. I'll just wait for the train to clear. 3, 2, 1, accelerate. I also do like, I think this interface is very nice, and the fact that it is customizable. By that I mean, if I just do that, you can show things. So for example, if I want to see the gradient, and it changes what sort of penalty you get on your score. So I could also make it that it's somewhat see-through. I kind of like it being opaque. I don't see much use in it not being opaque, but don't need the gradient. Target speed at the moment I'm leaving on, but that's only because I do not know the map. Once you know the map, I guess you could switch that off. that is just that gauge. I've already got the simple control switched off. Show route minimap. That is where you know what the speeds and what's coming up. Repeat signals on the minimap. So that's quite interesting as well. And then your station stopping times. So yes, it's all customizable. You can switch it on or off as you wish. Now there is a 50 coming up. I'm just wondering whether 50 is still a little ways away. Probably will get up to about 54, 53, 54 miles per hour. Maybe it is best for me to just stick at 50 here. That's 54. Slight uphill, I think, so I'm struggling. Just a touch. There's a little bit of a downhill section there. So I'm going to ease off. The sounds are very realistic, in my opinion. They are very, very realistic sounds. Oh, this is downhill. Right, we'll just coast through this, I guess. That downhill bit's gone. Now it does take some skill to slow down to the exact right speed at the exact right time and not overshoot it, as I often do. So realistically, I should have been able to, once I get used to it, I should be able to get off the brakes, and it should be approximately, if it was a 50 mile per hour corner, I should be around 50 miles per hour, maybe 49 miles per hour, not down to 45, because now, as you can see, it's going to impact me all the way up this hill where I could have been doing 50. Aston North is a couple of minutes away, although I do appear to be early now. That's interesting. I appear to be very, very early. Clear signals. How has that happened? From being 2 minutes late to being probably a minute early. Possibly even 2 minutes early. What have I done? Do not recall speeding. A toot of the horn as we come around the corner. To warn anybody on the platform, please stand back from the edge of the platform. This train is not scheduled to stop at this station, or whatever they say. One minute early. From 2 minutes late to 1 minute early. Although I was 1 minute late departing, so somehow I've made up 2 minutes. I'm going to just have to brake just a touch. And now just 6 minutes, well, less than 6 minutes to run. Probably 4.5 minutes to run, really, to our destination, which is Charlie. Now, I think the tessellation, whatever it is, the adaptive tessellation level of detail, whatever it's doing, it's a little bit aggressive. I think it is just a little bit too aggressive. Up close, the details look great, but in the distance, you can clearly see as things start taking shape, as things start forming. So that is something that perhaps needs to be worked upon. I knew that was going to go off. Get the brakes ready to apply. All I'm doing, by the way, is left clicking to zoom in. There's the signal. Definitely red. Guess I'm going to be waiting for a while. Oh wait, that's Charlie. That's why. Well, what? That's a little bit awkward. Can I put it into first? Arrive 7:39. We are already here. Alright, I'm just going to ease myself in to the platform. The bumps as you go over the various points is very, very good. So I think overall the physics in this really do shine. Even though they are not complete. The modelling of the exterior modelling really nice, apart from the weird tessellation issues. Interior definitely needs work, and it would be really nice to see all these systems actually take shape. Right, let's see where I'm supposed to stop. I see the 6-car stop. There's a 6-car stop. That's where I need to stop. Let's just coast ourselves in. In fact, I could probably coast. How do I coast? There we go. There's neutral. And gently put on the brakes. Oh, that's it, we're done. 1 minute early. Handbrake on, press escape to complete run. There we are, and my score is 7,263. So what did I lose things on? 6 times I accelerated or brakes too hard, so I'll have to work on that. I think one of those was I did do a emergency brake by mistake. Obviously you're losing all the marks for whatever's on tutorial, so that's all of this lot, I think. I'm assuming. That's how much energy I was expected to use. That's how much energy I did use, so that was great. I used 81% of the total energy. I was 9 minutes late in total, which is a bit unfair because for some reason I started off late. No idea why. So that's a little unfair, but overall that's what we've got, and you can continue watching if you want, but it's better, to be honest, unless you just want to watch the trains go, which you can just go check everything else out. Yes, this is a 1960. There you go. This is when they're based. 1967, not 1970s. This is a place. This is one of the, I think, what do you call them? This is a workshop map, custom map mod. So this is part of, I think, it's supposed to be part of this. Not entirely sure. No, I don't think so. In fact, I think it's the same. Lambourne Valley Line. It looks like it's part of the same bit, unless it's just, it may just be, yes, okay, that's what it is. So I think the developer of this particular mod has been updating it, and it's just this particular section between Lambourne and Newbury, whereas you've got all this bit between Newbury and Winchester over here. I'm not sure that's the real Winchester, but there we go. But that is Diesel Railcar Simulator. Not bad from my first time back into it. I think I will do a little bit more of these. It would be really nice to see this continue. It would be really, really nice. What I will say is that I'm not fond of... I've actually done one of these before. Class 40. I'm not fond of the Class 03 in this. I find that Class 03 I find not particularly nice. So I don't use it. Not because this isn't a nice train. It wasn't nice to look at. Now it might have been improved. I do not know, so I'll have to check that. But generally, I do prefer these. I do prefer these Class 112, 117, etc. They're the ones I prefer. But also, just to end, you can see that you can download additional things. So there's a 35. There's a Class 31 in blue. I think if you go to Train Editor, will it load? Does it load? Don't know. Might take a while. There it is. There it goes, loading. I have no idea how to look. There we go. That's how you look around. So that's a I think that's a modded train. It looks pretty good, I would say. I might have a go at doing some modelling myself for this. But yes, this is, so there are people working on it. It's just that I think this is a gem that is often missed out amongst all the train sims. So that is that. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to click on the like button if you like this video. Subscribe to the channel for more videos on Diesel Railcar Simulator. Leave a comment in the comments box below, letting me know what you think. And also, what do you want to see in my playthroughs of this, if you are not particularly interested but you just want to see what it's like. If you can do so, please do consider supporting me on Patreon. Link in the description box below, as are links to my social media and Discord server. That is all from me, and I shall see you next time in Diesel Railcar Simulator, where, what will I do? I'm sure I'll find something to do. I might do a stopping service. I think another stopping service would be quite nice. So yes, make sure you stay tuned for that, and I will see you next time.